What is going on, everybody? So today I wanted to take you to see an aquarium that is doing absolutely phenomenal. I believe it's over 5 years old. It's a large aquarium, it's got some really cool fish in it. But before we do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on our quarantine system and just tell you things have been going really good for us the past couple of weeks. We're seeing really good success against different diseases, especially Uranema. We've made some really good headway, which I will make a video in the future for. I'm really excited about that. Everybody's doing really well, eating really good. Just really happy with the way the quarantine has been coming along. The fish have been responding really well to it. And our coral quarantine has been going phenomenal also. We put a lot of work into this, guys, and our corals are doing really well. They've been quarantined, they've been cleaned, they've been processed, and it's been about a year's worth of work, and we are getting to the point where we feel really good about what's going on here at Tanknicians. All the coral that have come out of quarantine have really starting to thrive. You can see we're just getting a bunch of growth on these zoanthids. I mean, this one is absolutely covering the frag plug. Same with this right here. So that's all good news. Got Tommy here of Tanknicians with me, and we got some really fun, cool videos coming up in the future dealing with quarantining. Not just fish and not just coral, but inverts as well. That's right. Yes, you heard it here. Inverts. How to quarantine your inverts. Yes, you do need to do it. When you see this video, when it drops, when you guys see it, you can understand why you need to do it and why it's important.
And where are they going to find that video?
That's going to be at Tanknicians YouTube page. Oh, and look who showed up to the shop. Escape the Wild. Getting ready to film a video. We have a lot of cool fish right now in stock. One of my favorites, the bar goby. Being in South Florida, I just love the coloration on these guys. They have the vice color, which is so dope. And in this 75-gallon tank that is currently getting a formalin treatment, formalin bath, we have a very type of wrasses, copper bands, got Banggai cardinal back there, foxface, and these guys are in their formalin bath right now, getting treated for all different types of diseases and parasites. Now, having a quarantine shop, there's always something to do, but it's a fun challenge and I absolutely love it. Now, let's get into why you guys clicked on this video. Let's go pack up the van and head to the customer's house and take a look at this beautiful, well-established large aquarium. Let's go. All right, so here we are, and as soon as you walk in the door, this is what greets you. Could you imagine this beautiful saltwater aquarium? Wow. All right, so let me give you the rundown of what's in here as far as fish stocking. We have some beautiful yellow tangs, of course, Heniochus fish right here. These guys get rather large, so they'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Beautiful, really healthy female clownfish. We also have ooh, wow, the corals are doing really good too. Look at this toadstool, leather coral. The polyps are out looking great. We have a hogfish. I believe that's a Spanish hog. I love the purple and yellows on that fish. I mean, it really stands out. A couple of Banggai cardinals. Yeah, we see those a lot. Banggai cardinals are kind of popular, but I think they add something to the tank. They're kind of cool, especially with people that aren't familiar with saltwater tanks. And also, this Valentini puffer is huge. The camera does not pick up how big he really is. He's the biggest Valentini puffer I've ever seen. And then, of course, back there, a magnificent foxface, I believe that is. A beautiful fish. And then look at this. We have a PJ Cardinal in here too, but I believe it's solo, so we'll have to do something about that. I'll look into getting him a little friend. And then there's the male clownfish. I guess that's where he likes to hang out. The female's over there. And we have some damsels in this tank. Believe it or not, they do really well in this aquarium. And yes, we have eels. With a tank this big, it's kind of like a must. We have, I believe, 4 or 5 eels in this aquarium. And anybody who knows, who's kept eels, knows they only really come out to eat. But they're definitely in here. We also have a ton of chromis in here. I believe he has close to 10 or 12 chromis in this tank. And when I tell you guys, these are some of the largest chromis that I've ever seen in a home aquarium. Like, they're giants. They're absolute beasts. It really makes you appreciate chromis. And I look at them in a whole new light once I realize just how big they get. So that's really cool. And they add a lot to the aquarium. There's a lot of movement with them. as well. And then you can see darting across the silverfish. Those are monos. I believe there's 6 of them in here, and they all shoal together, which is awesome looking. So with the chromis and the monos, you get a lot of that schooling, shoaling type motion in the tank. There's a ton of movement in this aquarium, which just is so eye-catching. Yeah, so the monos, they'll eventually probably outgrow this tank. They're already getting kind of big, and being that there's 6 of them in here, that's a big bio load. But I mean, just look at them. Like, they add so much to the tank. Oh, speaking of adding so much to the tank, look at this little catfish. Look at this catfish in here. This is a Colombian shark. This guy was just a little bitty thing, and now he's huge. He's like a foot long, maybe more. But I mean, anyone who would know any better would think that that's an actual shark in the tank. Speaking of which, there is a shark in this aquarium, but there's the other eel. So there's 2 eels right there. The other one is under the rock. We discovered him, so that's pretty cool. I know there's about 3 other in here. And a harlequin tusk right here. There's also a trigger in here. I believe it's a blue jaw trigger. I'm not exactly sure. So we have a harlequin tusk and a blue jaw trigger, but they're very shy. They don't like to come out. That's why it's so important to have those other fish that like to... Oh, look at this little wrasse right there. He's got something. He had something in his mouth. Well, anyways, yeah, so they're all... Obviously, this is a tank when it comes to feeding. It's very aggressive because there's so many mouths to feed in here. And these are rather, aggressive eating fish anyway. So I'm sure feeding time is quite fun to watch. And it looks like the hogfish has got whatever the wrasse had now. So now, as far as the coral go in this aquarium, it's all softies. So nothing, no LPS, I don't believe, and no SPS in here. We've tried before, but just wasn't working out. We have some gorgonians here throughout the tank. We have leather corals throughout the tank. It's mostly just softies. I think it's all softies, I'm pretty sure. Some Kenya tree, some singularis, this massive tosu coral that's been in here forever. That thing's got to be over 10 years old. Waving hand anthelia, Kenya tree you see right there. And the Kenya tree does really good, which is important when you need that soft coral in this aquarium, because it really does a good job of filtering the tank. With all this bioload in this aquarium, you really do need something that's going to feed off that fish waste and that fish poop. And oh, you see that coral right there? That is a green Kenya tree. I never see green Kenya tree anymore. I'm so excited that that's in this tank. And look, you can get a better idea of right there how bright green it can get. Under the right blue lights, that thing is so dope. And everybody knows Kenya tree spreads and grows really quick. I never see green Kenya tree anymore. So when I see it, it's a real treat for me. I love that coral. But yeah, so all this coral in the tank does a great job of keeping the levels in check, the nitrates and phosphate. There's an amazing job of filter feeding the fish waste out of the water and just keeping the tank balanced. And I'm going to try to add some more coral down the road, maybe some pallies or something like that. Add a little bit more pop, a little bit more color. I think the customer would definitely like that. So I got my hose set up and I'm about to do a 50% water change. That is a lot of water. So we're going to get this tank all set up and hooked up with some clean water. So one thing about having a big aquarium with a lot of big fish, there's a lot of waste. Take a look at this. This is the skimmer I just pulled out, and just look. I mean, it's like dark as coffee, and it absolutely reeks. The proteins that have been pulled out of here is super thick. Ugh, it's really nasty. Oh, and speaking of sharks, there's a shark. That's a little baby. It was actually an egg that actually hatched in this aquarium. So we do have an actual shark in this tank, and you'll see the other side of him. See his tail right there? He's doing great. Love it. Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to share that aquarium with you guys. It's one of the more fun ones to kind of come in service. I really like just looking at this aquarium. You can only imagine, could you imagine living here and this is what you see? I mean, beautiful tank, really well done. I'm happy to service it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching.